Okay, this is the first shot of the broadcast I've done, recorded today, 1st of October, in Wycoller. This is actually not the trees I was talking to Bridget about, but this is walking into the village and through the village. So I'm rambling on about various parts of the village and what's what and everything else. I think I meet quite a few tourists, and one or two of them we talk with, but unfortunately the wind, as per usual, gets up. It always seems to do the same when you come out with the camera, but let's see how it goes anyway. Probably hundreds of years. The little one there is a sapling from the main one, I think. Yeah, it's the same kind of tree. And the farm through the trees on the left here used to be in my family. It's called Lowlands Farm. And when I looked in the family history, there's another big tree for Bridget. When I looked in the family history, this farm is part of our history. You can't quite see it through the trees, I don't think. That's Lowlands Farm through there. And there used to be a stonemason around here called Stanley Cookson. He actually did quite a lot of work on the buildings down here, reclaiming stone and recreating windows in the right style and everything. And of course he signed everything off with his name. Now on the right here, this farmhouse is called Lathe Hills. It's one which I looked at when I was a kid in the 1960s and thought about converting. Well, somebody's done it, and it's probably worth £500,000 maybe, something like that. So when I was here it was derelict. There used to be a barn on this side of the road on the left, which is now gone, totally gone. There's a cottage here, bed and breakfast. Another building for sale, goodness me. This little cottage on the left here is called Lathe Hills, I think. Oh, no, it isn't. Not called Lathe Hills. I used to know the lady who lived there, and she had an extension built out the back by Mr. Cookson. I forget the name of the cottage. It isn't Lathe Hills. On occasion, this little stream here, this innocent little stream flowing through here, just had trout in it, sufficiently flooded to come all over this bridge. Where I'm standing here was underwater. That's how much water can come down here. That's filling in and completely blocking the bridge. And another of the very big trees there. That's about 100 feet high. Somebody used to do a 3-point turn, I think. Pepper Hill Barn. Let's have a look up there, I think. See why it's called Pepper Hill, because it's got a bit of concrete. Rather appropriate. Some of the buildings down here are very old, some of them are newer. Obviously some have been rebuilt and rebuilt again. You can tell which ones are oldest by the style of the mullions and the windows. Just check that this is still recording. Difficult to see the mouse on here. Yeah, it's still recording, good. In fact, on the left here there used to be a dairy parlour, and this looks like it's been converted into something as well. It's not been converted, it's been, goodness me, another one for sale. Is the whole village for sale? Backside house. Now this is an interesting one because the doorway that's on it has got a traditional doorway frame on it. And it's been obviously included on it for authenticity, but the windows are actually all wrong. Undecorated stonework on the windows. It just doesn't look right to me. I'm being a purist, I suppose. And the old barn was over there on the other side where the garages are. Again, a nice property if anybody wants it. A very nice front garden here. And the sale agent is that one there. You can see the agent's sign if you want to buy it. Got a bid for it. Now, another bridge. Village doesn't like its bridges. There are two main road ones and some rather interesting old ones. The farm on the right is a mixture of ages. The bit at this end is relatively new by Wycoller standards. Oh, got another one for sale. It's been added on at a later date. Wycoller Farm is probably one of the newer of the old buildings in the village. If that's not a contradiction in terms. There are actually somewhere on here, there they are, and by appointment only. And this used to be a cowshed. As you see now, it's a cafe. I actually remember it as a cowshed. And you can see that the farm here is two different ages. This end section is older and the bit on the far end was added on. Also for sale. I don't think those plant troughs are authentic Wycoller though. And this is one of the oldest buildings, but again it's got a newer extension on it. On the front there's a new section with a peaked roof which doesn't match, well it does match it, I don't mean to a degree, but it obviously wasn't original. You can see why there's no parking allowed in the village, not from the inhabitants. And when the Friends of Wycoller were formed, well, a while ago, this little building at the end was their headquarters. You see, everything's been added on in stone to match in with the actual village itself. There were more buildings over here, but they've fell into disrepair and got taken down. I mentioned bridges. Well, this bridge is the famous one. The arch on this side is distorted. The arch on the other side is, as you can see, is proper arch shape, but this one on the side is definitely distorted slightly. And the building over there, that is supposed to be Ferndean Manor. Oh, actually Wycoller Hall it's called, and I had a hand in that actually. The only top window left on the top side there is one which I helped preserve, so, and this was a long time ago. If I hadn't put a hand in there, that would be gone, I think. But let's walk across the bridge so we can look at the other bridge. This is the second bridge here. There's obviously a ford where cars can get across, but the bridges are pedestrian only. And you can see how old this bridge is. Just look at the wear in the stone there. Tremendous amount of wear. Beware of uneven falling. You're not kidding. Health and safety, right? Yeah, health and safety gone mad, yes. I've just mentioned the wear on the stone when you're standing now there. Imagine what that must be like when it was built. Yeah. Okay, now you're looking up at the other bridge in the centre of the village. which is stone slabs. Stone slabs on top of a couple of pillars. And that's, I think, possibly predates this one we're standing next to now. And I'm pleased to see that window still there. Really pleased to see it still there. Now the distortion on the bridge you can see from here. It's almost as if the left hand side arch has got drunk. I'm not sure whether it was actually built like that or has gone like that. But it does actually look as if it could do with a bit of maintenance near water level. There's could do with some cementing in there. We don't want to lose something as old as this. It survived numerous great floods. In fact, you can probably gather what happened when there's a big flood. The water goes through where that Range Rover is and takes a shortcut, because the level of the land there is lower than the top of the bridges. So that's what happens. Now, see the stonework here. It's a pity that the top story was lost. I can remember it when there were windows up on the top. That Stanley Cookson managed to save the stones from those, and they've been used in other places. But everything now is pointed up so that it doesn't deteriorate any further. Yes, there's the Clapper Bridge. Again, this one gets overridden by the floods. Now, there used to be an entrance porch over that doorway, and it got taken away and ended up in Trawden, outside what was Trawden Laundry in the old days. It was like the one on the house we've just looked at earlier on, further down the village. That's the trouble with autofocus, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a pain.
It kills what you want because
There's autofocus on this thing as well.
Aye.
So I've got to do the same trick with this. I've actually turned it off, so it's actually on distant focus.
Aye. Yeah.
So
we tend to take photographs of one, take photographs of the other, us two, so you can't help each other.
it happens. It proves you were both there anyway. So oh, a little dog having fun in the water there.
I was in, oh God, where were we? In a game park in South Africa, and there was a kudu, and he was where the girls are now, he was there. But I couldn't get him with the autofocus.
Because of the trees.
So it had to go on manual. And on the because I had about a 50mm lens.
Oh right.
And beautiful. But I had to go on the manual to get it. But when I got it, I've got it framed now. It's absolutely beautiful.
Excellent.
With the naked eye, you can hardly see it. You know, you can get in on the shot and you can enhance it, and it's really good.
I would like to get a camera which could zoom live. I mean, this one does zoom, but it only zooms when you start it up. It doesn't zoom live.
Yeah.
So
shame.
This will be on the internet by tomorrow, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. Now the barn over there used to be in a ruinous state, but that got completely rebuilt and re-roofed, and it's now got various artefacts and things in it. The hall used to have 3 floors. as you can see by this tower thing here. Almost all of it's got taken away. There are pictures of it, photographs of it still, but that's all there is left. It would have looked different with the porchway on it. I don't know whether that's still introdden or not. I was just saying to the camera there was a porch, there used to be a porch on there at the front, like on the one of the buildings a bit further down the village, one that's been rebuilt. It was two stories in Forage now, is it?
That's what it says on there, yeah.
It went to Trodden outside the laundry, and it's a terrific angle. I know how it didn't fall down. It's a pity it couldn't be brought back. But then again, things like that don't happen unless you get a big rich philanthropist or somebody doing it. All this has been recorded, by the way, so I should have said that before I started. So the big pièce de resistance of this place, of course, is the fireplace. You also notice that the windows there are totally different in style to the rest of the building. Much taller and also wider as well. I'm not sure whether this, in fact this probably did post-date, that section at the far end, probably did, because there's a break in the wall. You can see an end in the structure there, just to the left of the obviously non-original doorway, where the building must have ended at one stage. In fact, I think the far end is the oldest bit, the very oldest bit. In through a window at the main hall, and there's the big open fireplace, which is the feature that the hall is best known by, I think. Nobody really knows what exactly that little keyhole shaped thing for on the right was for. There's about 5 or 6 different functions suggested for it. But again, on that upstairs window there's a different design on the stonework compared to that one over there. And we were looking at a weaving, basket weaving course, I think. One of the local skills being shown. Just nip through inside the building a minute. There were dates on either side of the doors there, but they've been damaged. When I was a kid, there used to be shops here, and you could buy drinks and so on. You can still make out the ruins of them, but the powers that be have obviously decided it's not of sufficient historical value to to dig them out. But there were houses and shops going all the way along the back here, almost as far as the barn. Hello. This is the inside of the building. There were walls here when I was a kid. Nearly all gone now.
That's a ruined.
Hello. There's still some stone down the bottom. I'm actually recording this. I'm not recording your children though. I'll avoid that. I'll avoid them if I can. So the rooms were quite large, as you can see, and I can remember when this doorway was actually knocked down by vandals and has been restored. This was actually pushed off and has been rebuilt. There were shelves in that little alcove there as well. In fact, it was so long ago those were pushed down and put back on, you can't tell. It's been very well aged in. And that's the inside of the window that I rescued. Most of that on the left has been rebuilt. You can't tell that, but it was rebuilt. And this, I think, was the oldest part of the hall. Anyway, I'm going to pause it now and walk up the Dean a bit and break it here. See where the mouse is, that is. Use the shade of the doorway to help us. Okay, well, I didn't actually go up the Dean straight away. I went past the basket weavers and looked in the old barn, which is now an exhibition centre. There's an exhibition in there tomorrow, actually, 2nd of October, so if anybody sees this and is in the area, which is very unlikely actually at this time of night, then that's on tomorrow. So let's move this off and bring in the next file, hopefully, in a moment, which is going to be this one. Okay, so we're now going to go and look at those trees for Bridget. I don't know whether we can walk through here or not. Probably can, or can't we? Yes, we can. This was the barn for the hall. But all this area here was houses, small houses. Does anybody know if filming's allowed in there? Filming? It's fine, okay, thank you. I've already caught you on camera as well, by the way, if that's any worry to you. I'm intrigued to see this being done. I've never seen this being done here before.
As long as we're on commission.
It'll be on the internet tonight. So this is the Isle Barn, which, as I said, was completely rebuilt. Oh no, that's fine. I don't know. Look, see,
it's just a shame that all the chairs are in for tomorrow.
It reacts brilliantly to light. Does this thing? I don't know how it does it, but it does.
Oh, yeah.
So Microsoft Livecam Cinema, if you want to know what it is. So I normally go out live on air, but not at the moment because there's not enough signal down here to do it.
No.
So yes, I remember when they were rebuilding all this.
All right.
It's remarkable. All this woodwork is put together with wooden pegs. There are no nails in there anywhere. Well, there weren't anyway. There shouldn't be now if it's been done authentically. And I don't see any reason why it shouldn't have been. That's absolutely brilliant. There's an exhibition in here next week. If somebody sees this before next week, there's an exhibition in here next week, free, on timber. It's advertised in the window outside. But it's beautiful, this. It really is. This is a kind of repair job that will be done on Tong Hall in Middleton when they get round to it. That kind of structure up there is very similar to what was in their roof at Tong Hall. Very similar. You see how the bases are raised off the ground to avoid damp. Raised on stone pillars. That's an ingenious touch, that is. If that hadn't been done, I don't suppose the building would be here. The roof would have come in. And this, as I say, is the aisled barn. It's called an aisled barn because the pillars are divide off on each side a separate section of the building from a central section where I'm standing, and there's an aisle on either side which could have had places for animals and things like that, and there was also upstairs or a raised area on top in some parts of it as well, which hasn't been rebuilt on this occasion. So it's the exhibition centre. The exhibition is October the 2nd, which is Sunday tomorrow. So now we'll go on to the next clip, which starts in the barn and goes on up the Dean itself.